Hey, good evening. Tonight we're diving deep into the dark woods, the kind of place where the trees whisper secrets and the rain doesn't just fall, it watches. But before we get lost in those shadows, go ahead and hit like if you're into true horror and subscribe, but only if you really want to. And hey, drop a comment below telling me where you're listening from. I love seeing our horror family gather from all corners of the world. Now take a deep breath, maybe turn on that soft rain and thunder sound in the background. Let it wrap around you like a cold cloak. We're about to walk into a story that will chill your bones, but won't let you fall asleep. It all started back in 2019, when whispers of strange creatures prowling the forests went viral online. Bigfoot, skinwalkers, you name it. But this story? This one's about something darker, something older, something called the Wendigo. A few months later, after I returned from my time in the Marines, I sought out my old friend Jacob. The woods had been on his mind, and now on mine too. One evening, amidst laughter and stories, Jacob suggested we visit a forgotten place, a dock swallowed by the forest's shadows. So I grabbed my gun and we ventured into that quiet, secluded realm. The dock was a relic, weathered and worn, its wooden planks creaking and crumbling like the memories they held. After about 30 minutes, Jacob finally whispered the name that sent a chill through the damp air: Wendigo. Even my breath caught for a moment. He claimed if you dared to say Wendigo 3 times deep in the forest, you'd face a horror unlike any other. I scoffed, challenging him to prove it. How wrong I was. I still regret those words. We stepped onto a narrow path, soaked from recent rains, winding into the dense woods near Alabama's edge. After 20 minutes, the forest seemed to swallow us whole. The ground beneath us was a muddy sponge, soaked through by days of relentless rain. Every step a squelch, every breath thick with the scent of wet earth. Jacob dared me to speak the name aloud. I stood frozen. Around us, only the soft sigh of pine needles swaying in the cold wind disturbed the silence. My voice barely more than a whisper, I called out, "Wendigo, Wendigo, Wendigo." Nothing stirred. A breath of relief escaped me. Or so I thought. Between us, teasing and challenges were common. For once, I thought I'd won. But that night, the woods had a different plan. As we laughed and mocked, a distant noise sliced through the quiet. Marine instincts kicked in. I snapped my head toward it, senses sharpened. Moving cautiously, we spotted coyotes darting through the underbrush. Relief, brief, fragile, washed over me. But something darker lurked, waiting. I couldn't name the feeling, only that it screamed, "Leave now." We turned back, hearts hammering in rhythm with the distant thunder. Suddenly, a towering pine groaned, cracking like ancient bones. Instinct surged. I pushed Jacob just as the tree crashed down, splitting the path between us. Jacob screamed, terror raw and sharp. I scrambled over the fallen wood, grabbed him by the collar, and pulled him upright. His heart thundered against my palm. His eyes wild, tears brimming, I yelled, "Move, Jacob! Move now!" Spinning him roughly, he stumbled, knees hitting the soaked earth. Pulling him up, we tore down the path, the forest closing in, the thunder rolling. Neither of us dared glance behind. As I ran, a voice pierced the storm. "Jacob! Jacob, come quick!" Olivia's voice, or what I hoped was hers. Jacob spun, desperate, shouting, "Olivia!" I grabbed him, eyes burning with urgency. "No, Jacob, it's not her. Hear me, it's not her." Another tree groaned, collapsing with deadly intent. I shoved Jacob down, the earth shaking as wood thundered overhead. "Go now!" I yelled, heart pounding. Gun drawn, I leveled it into the darkness from which the nightmare emerged. Jacob reached the clearing, glanced back, seeing my unwavering aim. "Bradley, get out of there, hurry!" I sprinted after him, lungs burning. Then, in the flicker of lightning and shadow, we both saw it. The Wendigo itself, 9 feet tall, gaunt as death, limbs thin as twigs, its skin pale, almost translucent, like a vampire's in the pale moonlight. But what held me frozen were its eyes, glowing a piercing electric blue, eyes that seared through the storm and into my soul. Fear ignited action. I raised my gun, fired into the beast's shadow. Jacob didn't wait. He fled toward safety, heart pounding like a war drum. I followed, adrenaline drowning the thunder. That night marked my first and hopefully last encounter with the Wendigo, and every night since, I pray I never meet it again. Before we dive deeper into this chilling tale, imagine the rain softly tapping on your window, thunder rumbling in the distance. Tonight we're stepping even further into the cold shadows of the Wendigo legend. What happened next is not just a story, but a family nightmare. A glimpse into a hunger that never dies. Ireland 1845, Russia 1921, China 1959. Even in these stages of hunger, when people ate leather and dirt, and animals feasted on human remains, very few have ever seen hunger. Few have seen the Wendigo. All the Wendigo ever feels is hunger, for it is hunger. You may have heard of the Wendigo, seen drawings of it, but for the few who have seen it, it was the last thing they ever saw. I haven't seen it, thank God, yet the blood in my family have. This is not my story, this is my father's. When I was 15, he told me to sit down and explained why he never lets me set foot in the woods, especially in winter. He wanted me to record what happened to him so no one else would suffer like he did. My uncle decided it was time for me to visit the Great Lakes forests, telling me the woods were some of the most beautiful in the country. It took convincing for my grandfather to agree, and it was winter by then. Winter there is harsh. Cold days, dark, icy nights. It's a wonder how Native Americans survived months of thick snow and the creatures that came with it. My uncle prepared us as if we were going to the Arctic. Puffy jackets, boots, gloves, goggles, bear spray, and a .50 Desert Eagle pistol. He didn't expect to use it, but it was just in case. We flew to Michigan and stayed in a small town. The forest was breathtaking, tall trees like long hairs on Mother Nature's head, filled with squirrels, birds, wolves, and foxes. Almost every day we hiked in the snow, sometimes seeing bears. My uncle warned me not to look bears in the eyes and always kept the bear spray ready. During our second week, he took me on a night walk. The stars flowed above like fireflies, the moon bright and big. We reached a fork. Usually we'd go left, but it was colder than usual, so we turned back early. The cold lingered in my mind. The weather was unpredictable, but normally forecasted well. This time, something felt off. As we walked, the cold deepened. My uncle kept looking up, bewildered. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. He pulled me closer to keep warm. Suddenly, fast steps approached. My uncle pulled out the bear spray, shouting to get ready. Several pairs of eyes appeared in the shadows. Wolves, mouths open, panting, stamping snow. The wolves ran right past us, maybe 10 feet away. My uncle lowered the spray, confused. Then more animals appeared, all running, not stopping to look at us. My uncle decided we needed to leave quickly. Whatever the animals fled from was worse than them. My uncle wasn't easily scared, having faced death many times, but now worry was clear in his eyes. We jogged, going off-trail through the woods. Off the path, the pine needles blocked moonlight, creating small beams of light. Suddenly, my uncle stopped. I bumped into him. Ahead was a figure too far to see clearly. He started backing up, signaling me to do the same. "Hello, can we help you?" I heard a trembling voice. My uncle was scared. Slowly, he reached behind for bear spray, but then moved toward the gun instead. A twig snapped. The figure took a step forward, and suddenly the air changed. It wasn't just cold or fear. It was hunger. My uncle said, "We don't want trouble, just trying to get back to town," but didn't finish. Everything happened too fast. Fast steps, snarls. My uncle fired one shot before the creature reached us. It slammed into him, throwing us aside. I hit the ground hard. I heard screams, crunching flesh and bone. It was savoring blood, then tearing into organs. I kept my eyes closed until I saw the silver of the Desert Eagle. I stood, oddly not scared. Stepping toward the gun, crunching snow beneath my feet, the sound stopped. We turned simultaneously. Its eyes met mine, if they could be called eyes, black, hollow voids. Its body was skinny, ribs protruding, bones visible through thin limbs. Antlers, or skull-like deer antlers, grew from its head. We stared for what felt like hours before it returned to eating my uncle. Did it care I was there? Why not attack me? I didn't ask. I grabbed the gun and ran. I thought about shooting again, but wasn't sure if bullets even affected it. I just ran. 10 minutes felt like eternity. I saw town lights and hoped I'd make it. Then footsteps behind me, closer and closer. I understood why it hadn't eaten me before. It knew it would catch me eventually. Suddenly, pain. Its teeth clamped into my leg, cracking my femur. It lifted me, threw me dozens of feet. I landed head first, shock and pain spreading, consciousness fading. I heard crunching on my leg. This was it. I thought I was dying. Then I heard a voice, "Get up." It was my uncle saying, "You aren't going down that easy." Rage replaced fear. I turned, pointed the gun at it. It charged. I fired blindly. The bullet hit its eyes. Time stopped. It stumbled, screamed, not a monster's roar, but the screams of hundreds of people, men, women, children, all in agony. Among them, my uncle's scream. Terror returned. I ran toward the light, desperate to escape the screams. The screams changed, from pain to rage. I kept running despite my cracked femur and gasping lungs. Bursting through the woods into town, I collapsed under street lamps. Before losing consciousness, I looked back, saw it standing there, one eye closed, the other an empty socket staring at me. I didn't need to see its face to know its hatred and hunger remained. I woke in the hospital after 3 days. My grandfather came, tears and hugs. I told everyone the truth. They didn't believe me. Thought head injuries made me imagine it. They sent a search party, found my uncle, all flesh and organs stripped, only bones remained. That Wendigo is still out there, eating, hating me for escaping. There are more, and they will never be full. The most disturbing thought is my uncle's voice telling me to get up. Sometimes I wonder, was it really my uncle, or that thing wanting me to fight more so the kill would be better?